Mark was working long hours. His wife, Eva, spent most of her days alone in their large, quiet house. To keep her company, Mark decided to get a pet. At the shelter, he found a beautiful, pitch-black cat, sitting perfectly still in a quiet corner. The worker there seemed a bit sad as he handed the cat over. He whispered, "This cat has a tragic story. His previous owner passed away at home, and for days, the cat sat right under him. He didn't leave, even though the windows were open. He was starving, but he wouldn't break his vigil." Mark felt a deep sympathy for the cat's loyalty. He took him home and named him Shadow. At first, everything seemed fine, but soon it was clear that Shadow only cared about Mark. He ignored Eva and stayed in the corners whenever Mark was at work. But the moment Mark stepped through the door, the cat would come alive, following him everywhere with a strange, intense energy. One night, Eva told Mark she was pregnant. They were so happy. It felt like their family was finally complete. But at midnight, Eva got up to get some water. As she was walking down the stairs, she felt something wrap around her feet. She lost her balance and began to tumble into the dark void. In those terrifying seconds of falling, she realized it was Shadow. The last thing she saw was the cat's face at the top of the stairs, his eyes glowing in the dark. Eva fell into a coma. She lost the baby that night. Mark was heartbroken and spent all his time at the hospital. But every time he went home to change, Shadow greeted him with loud, comforting purrs. However, the cat became a different creature whenever Mark tried to leave. He would hiss and scratch Mark's arms until they bled, acting as if he couldn't bear to let Mark go back to the hospital. The nurses noticed the fresh claw marks on Mark's skin every single day. Months later, Eva finally woke up. She whispered a terrifying warning. "Mark, that night, it wasn't an accident. I felt him lunge between my feet. He wanted me to fall. Please, be careful in that house." Mark didn't believe her. He thought she was just traumatized. He left the hospital with a big smile, promising to be right back with her things. The nurses said he looked happier than ever. He waved goodbye and drove home. Eva waited. 1 hour passed, then 2. Night fell, but that happy man never returned. Her phone calls went unanswered. The silence in the hospital room became unbearable. When the police finally entered the house, there was no sign of a struggle. There was only Mark. Just like the cat's first owner, he was hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the room. And Shadow, that black shadow, sat directly under Mark's feet, looking up with a cold, eternal loyalty. Mark belonged to him now, and he would stay there, forever. And not even Eva would be able to take him back again.